Good evening. I welcome everyone to the January 24th regular board meeting. Thank you for joining us. We will open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, if you can join. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Esta junta se lleva a cabo en inglés, pero contamos con servicios de traducciones si alguien gusta hacer un comentario público o recibir explicaciones en español. Por favor, indique su necesidad. Should anyone wish to participate in the citizens' comment portion of this meeting, you may still sign up by completing the citizen comment form at the entry of the room and turning it in with Kim White. Virtual attendees had the opportunity to complete the form online before the meeting. Board, are there any modifications that you would like to make to the agenda? Hearing none, I will move on to the consent agenda. In the consent agenda, we have the minutes from the December 12th workshop, the January 10th regular meeting, and the January 13th workshop. We also have payroll and vouchers, personnel report, the surplus report, field trips, and the January enrollment and the November 22nd financial report. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Great. The consent agenda has been moved by Laura and seconded by Julie. Any discussion?
I'd like to make a brief comment. At our self-assessment meeting, feedback was given that although the consent agenda is very efficient, sometimes we miss an opportunity to keep the community informed. And there's one field trip that I think is of interest in the consent agenda. We have our first year of the Air Force ROTC this year. Moses Lake has had an ROTC for quite a long time. And this is a development year. So one of the field trips is getting the two ROTCs together at Wenatchee High School for a weekend of training, which I think is a great opportunity for our new program to mix with a more established program. And this is one of the big changes in CTE curriculum that's been added this year.
Thank you, Martin. Any further discussion? Great. All in favor of adopting the consent agenda as presented?
Aye.
Great, the motion carries. Next on the agenda, we have citizen comments. I know we have one comment, a remote to someone remotely. Each person's comment shall be limited to 3 minutes. The board's role will be to receive comments and not comment or respond. Please state your name before beginning your comment. Liz?
Hello. Oh, I have my Nakia background. Sorry, I don't know how to take it down, but we'll leave it up there. My name's Roxana Veneta, and today I'm showing up to bring awareness to the school board and to inform other educators and parents, such as myself, of supporting House Bill SB 5102 that would increase educational equity and informational access for students across Washington. I believe that all students in Washington need and deserve to have fully funded school libraries staffed by a certified teacher librarian. The Wenatchee School District already has certified teacher librarians, and I'd like to commend the district for that. Librarians serve all students and teachers in a school, and according to research, students that have a full-time certified teacher librarian at school outperform those who do not, achieving higher test scores, literacy rates, and college success. I'm a little nervous because I haven't done public speaking in a while. Research also points out that certified teacher librarians have specialized training in lesson planning, instruction, and techniques to find relevant and credible resources for school and lifelong learning. And this makes them essential partners in student success. But I'm also here to ask that as you look into next year's district budget, you consider ways to continue providing financial means for our libraries. Make sure that you're ensuring educational equity and information access for students. I know that's going to be a tough job for everyone involved in the district, and I understand there are hard decisions to make. But given what is going on around the country regarding book bans, I'm also here to remind parents and educators that story elements humanize stories for students. Books help students become critical thinkers, engaging students through the lens of another human as they read or be read to. Literature is not neutral. Reading is liberation, and reading is also joy. As students embark on their science of reading journey, they learn empathy and kindness through the stories they read or stories that they write. And so I'm showing up to advocate as a person of color and as a teacher of color for all students in regards to making sure that all students are receiving educational equity. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your advocacy, Roxana. Kim, do we have any more public comments? Great. Moving right along. Next, we have special presentations. And for this one, I'll turn it over to Bill.
Well, thank you. I'm actually going to do something a little different than I usually do. This is an opportunity at this board meeting to celebrate you guys and your work. And so I'm going to act in a little bit different role, kind of as an MC. I'm going to take the podium for this part of the meeting. So the Wenatchee School District joins other Washington school districts in thanking our board of directors. January is Washington State's annual School Board Appreciation Month, and this is an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the school board's work on behalf of our students and community. Being a school board director requires significant time and energy. The school board bears the responsibility for setting the vision and the direction we want for our district, both now and in the future. The school board is a strong advocate group for schools and is responsible for communicating the needs of the district to the public, but also communicating the public's expectations to the district. Our board of directors define school district policy. They provide oversight for the district's budget and work to ensure adherence to state and federal education laws, just to name a few tasks. In this work, you are accountable to the public and you serve countless hours preparing and making decisions that can be challenging and require extensive learning and thought. For example, you are entrusted with responsibility of our annual budget of approximately $153 million in making decisions for our nearly 7,000 students, over 1,000 staff, 13 schools, and a technical skills center. So on behalf of the district, we would like to express our deepest appreciation to our dedicated directors, and we honor and appreciate your public service and commitment to our students, our district, and our community. It's been a pleasure to serve as your interim superintendent, and I'm looking forward to the rest of my time here. Please note that we have some posters on the wall today that were made from our schools for you, and some celebratory items in the back as well. And we will continue the celebration. I'm going to ask Dr. Kalahar to come up for a moment.
Just a moment of your time tonight to thank you and let you know that the appreciation continues. We are so thankful that you're serving as our school board members, and I have a couple things to hand out, so I'm kind of excited about that. The first one is a First one is a certificate here from WASDA, and that is our state association of board of directors. And so it's signed by the executive director of WASDA, the president of WASDA, and Superintendent Eagle. So that's the first gift I'll be giving out. The second one is an individualized thank you card from the Superintendent Advisory Council. So the students made cards for all of you. And then behind you, as Bill mentioned, there's there's little tubs of goodies there from Lewis and Clark. And then I'm not exactly sure what's in those lovely containers, but I'm sure it's amazing. So again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We really appreciate everything that you do for the school. So thank you.
We would like to continue our celebration with a big thank you for your continued support of music and the arts. We have a special group of students from Wenatchee High School, the Mariachi Wenatchee, to celebrate School Board Appreciation Month with us in song.
Awesome. That was beautiful.
And I want to truly thank you for coming tonight. It's always a pleasure to see our mariachi players at school board meetings and everywhere else. I think you all represent what we have to be most proud of in the Wenatchee School District. And I commend you for your hard work and dedication to the program. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
I want to add, I want to add my thank you as well. And tonight you coming out and doing yet another service, civil service to society and everybody else. You combine music with outreach, and you give to everybody else. Nobody say that school board meetings are boring ever again. So thank you very much.
I would also like to say thank you. In Mexican culture, to be serenaded by a mariachi is a very special occasion. So it brought a lot of emotions. Thank you guys for being here and representing our community. This is who we are. Just looking around the diversity of our young students. There's some that I recognize from when they were very little. Anyways, thank you guys for being here and continue the good work. We'll see you guys next month at the Mariachi Festival, or in March.
I also just want to say thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you for taking your time to come out and serenade us. It was beautiful. I am wowed that your high school students. I was a high school band student, and it brings back a ton of memories. And I hope this is a great lifelong and enjoyable experience for you. And I'm so proud and impressed. Thank you so much.
And I want to say I'm a huge fan, have been for a long time. I try to get to every PAC meeting and every opportunity to hear you guys. You are so talented, but you work so hard to do what you do. And it was just a thrill. It really meant a lot for you guys to come in tonight. So thank you so much. It was really, really wonderful. And you should be so proud.
So before we get to some other business, we do have one additional special presentation. And as they make their way out, a thank you to Mr. Cortez and the Mariachi. We really appreciate you. This district and board in particular have a strong history of support for music and the arts. So it was great to be able to showcase some of the talent we have in our district. I'd like to introduce our Executive Director of Learning and Teaching, Mr. Mike Lane, with a special presentation.
There it is. Yeah, so I have no chance of following that, so mine will be brief, but I have a very beautiful plaque here on behalf of the Wenatchee School District to Mr. Martin Barron for his years of dedication and service, not only as a school board member, but as a past president. And I'd like to add a little personal aside here. One of the things that Dr. Callahar and I have the privilege of doing is working with all of our building leaders and our aspiring building leaders. We meet once a month with our new leaders and any of our teachers who are doing admin internships. And so that meeting was today for January. And at the beginning of the meeting, we did a little whip around, and it was sharing a bright spot, something that's going well in your first year as a building leader. And one of our building leaders shared, Martin, that you were in the building today to visit him, and that it was true to your word. You had been out at the beginning of the school year and said, I would like to come back and check in with you as the year progresses. And he highlighted that as a bright spot, that feeling of connection as a first-year leader in our district to the school board. So thank you for that. And thank you for everyone else, because I know you all get out into our schools and it does make a huge difference. So from me and from all of our leaders in the Wenatchee School District, thank you very much for your service.
Well, thank you everyone for that. Oh man, okay. Next we have action items. Bill, can you keep it as exciting?
Probably not, but we do have some policies that are up for second read. We talked about these last time in the first read. Policy 1610 with some updates on conflict of interest for districts with over 2,000 students. The language amends some of the threshold amounts for certain exceptions to rules on conflict of interest. We have also policy 2401, which deals with mastery credits for financial education. And also up for second read tonight, policy 3117, which offers a variety of support to remove barriers to graduation for students who are in or from institutional facilities.
Great. Do I have a motion to approve the policies presented for the second read?
I'll move to approve the policies as presented.
Second. Great. Julie has set the motion. Catherine has seconded. Do we have any discussion? No. Great. All in favor of adopting the policies as presented? Please say aye.
Aye.
The policies presented for a second read have been approved. Next on the agenda, we have resolution number 0123, and this is a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Wenatchee School District number 246, designating general funds for offsetting the impact of budget reductions required for the 2023-24 school year. Bill, I'll let you give us a little bit of context on this resolution.
Thank you. Board, we set the stage for this discussion in our budget workshop yesterday, actually. And though we are very early in the 23-24 budgeting process, we know there are some challenges ahead. Because of some intentional work that we did early on, we were able to strengthen our reserves. This 2.8 million in additional reserves was a result of some actions we took early on to increase our savings this year, knowing we had challenges ahead. We still have many unknown assumptions and parameters about our budget. We are early in the process. We talked about some of those unknown parameters and assumptions at the board workshop yesterday, which include things like the impact of the current legislative session, impact of future enrollment projections, et cetera. But despite those, we know we have some challenges ahead, and the commitment of the 2.8 million that is involved in this resolution will assist us in managing a phased approach to reductions over multiple years. And it also allows us an opportunity for re-evaluation of the district's fiscal situation at the beginning of the 23-24 school year, when some of the parameters we're waiting to find out more about will be known. So it is my recommendation as your board secretary that we adopt this resolution that sets aside $2,861,949 for offsetting the impact of budget reductions moving forward.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
I would move to propose approval of resolution number 0123 of the Board of Directors of the Wenatchee School District number 246, designating somewhat more than $2.8 million of funds for offsetting the impact of budget reductions required for the 23-24 school year.
Second.
Thank you. Resolution number 0123 has been moved by Martin and seconded by Julie. Do we have any discussion?
Yes, since most people didn't attend our board workshop, just want to reiterate that the board is moving through a budgeting process. We are having to implement a pretty large reduction in our budget, and so offsetting the impact and spreading it over more than 1 year is very important to me, I think, and as a board, because I think it will help us provide some peace of mind to our staff, our people, make up the majority, 80% of our budget. And so many of the cuts are going to come in the form of people. And so hopefully we can allow natural attrition and retirements to assist us with that reduction. And in addition, spreading the pain basically over a couple of years will soften the blow and put people's mind more at ease, because we really don't want staff to feel uncomfortable about their roles and positions in the district. We appreciate everyone's hard work. And so I'm supporting this resolution.
Thank you, Laura.
I think in addition to what Laura stated in terms of stability for staff, I think it also creates some stability or prevents undue changes for our students as well, knowing that we're not cutting drastically right away and everything they know is changing as well. So I think it creates some stability and gives us more time to look at other impacts over the course of these next few years. So I'm supportive of this as well.
I think I'm going to repeat myself a little bit. I want to thank Superintendent Eagle and the school district for the way they've gone into researching this, the way they've counseled staff for opinions and input so that this is a multi-party process. Doing it as a phased, managed reduction. We're fortunate that we do have adequate reserves to be able to do that. The 2.8 million that we've just voted on does this. But this kind of 3 words that I would use for this kind of approach is we know that we have a reduction. We know that at least for the short term, we have declining enrollment. It makes it orderly. It makes it thoughtful, as Julie said, for all parties involved, and it can be efficient. And we focus not just on reducing the expenses of the budget, but wherever possible, can we do things better? And I think putting those 2 pieces together, that becomes a whole program. A budget is not just numbers, it's effort.
Thank you, Martin. I once again would like to thank the Budget Committee because I know this is no easy task, but also the superintendent and his cabinet members, as well as the unions. I know you guys have been working together to minimize the impact on our district, especially our staff and our students. So thank you for that. For those reasons, I am in full support of this resolution.
And I'll finish us up, I guess. Again, since people weren't at the workshop, they didn't hear the summation of everything that we had discussed, which was all kind of summed up nicely by everybody. But I too want to thank you, especially Superintendent Eagle. I know that you have really put your heart and soul into working on this and spent countless hours on it. And so we are very grateful as a district for your effort and your math skills. But again, yeah, I think that this, well, I know just in discussions with administrators of certain buildings that this was a critical element for them, drawing it out over a longer period of time. And I'm really thankful. I know that staff is thankful that you were all able to do that. And thank you, Sean, for stepping in at this time and helping us get organized with budgets. Well, thank you very much.
Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor of adopting resolution 0123, designating general funds for offsetting the impact of budget reductions required for the 23-20 school year, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great. The resolution number 0123 is approved. Moving on to the next agenda items, we are at the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I've got a few items that are reminders and just information for the board tonight. First, just a reminder that our next Migrant Bilingual PAC meeting will be held tomorrow at Wenatchee High School, January 25th in the Commons, and also happening tomorrow evening at the same time in the gym is our unified basketball team's first home game. I hope to attend a little bit of both of those tomorrow night and hope to see some board members available at those events as well. Another reminder to the board, I am beginning to schedule opportunities to share more information publicly about our strategic plan in the community. In the next month, I will be visiting several local Rotary groups, clubs, and community organizations to spread the word about our strategic plan priorities and the work that we are engaging in to move those priorities forward. So community groups or organizations that are interested in learning more about our strategic plan can reach out to Diana Hagland and get on my tour schedule here. And board, if you have organizations that you would like to see be a part of that, let us know and we'll make that happen. I would like to share that I had a chance to bowl with some of the members of our district champion girls bowling team. Several staff members from the district competed on teams with members of our league winning girls team. For me personally, it was a humbling experience, but lots of fun. And just a reminder there, the district championships will be held at Eastmont Lanes later this year. And last, but certainly not least, we had a wonderful opportunity for a pro athlete and motivational speaker, Mr. Matt Hamill, known as the Hammer, who is a 3-time NCAA Division III wrestling champion, and a UFC fighter with an impressive record. And Matt is also deaf. He now travels the world as a motivational speaker, and on January 18th, he came to Wenatchee High School to speak about his story of success. We had 250 people in attendance, including students from the Wenatchee High School American Sign Language program and District Deaf Education program. And I wanted to give a special thank you to Danielle Meadows, our American Sign Language teacher and ASL club advisor, who coordinated Matt's visit. It was a great event for our students. And that concludes my report for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Eagle. Next is board communication. Lord?
I don't have any specific communications, but I am planning to go to the PAC meeting. So I was just wondering tomorrow night. So I was just wondering if other board members were attending, if we were going to have a quorum, if what you are and Catherine is. So we'll stay at opposite sides of the room. We'll discuss no business.
I'll be there as well, but maybe I'll go to the basketball game first. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Well, there's another celebration for today. It happens to be the International Day of Education globally. So I pulled a couple of quotes from about that. They're maybe a little bit heavy, but one is, education is a public good and a public responsibility. And we're public schools, and I think we can live by giving that and being responsible. And another one that I like, because I always think like the word investment for education, to invest in people, prioritize education. So it just by chance, that is today's celebratory day. It's board recognition month, but I want to go back to, I just realized it was Friday the 13th when we had our self-assessment workshop. But actually, I think the omens were pretty good, because we looked at standards that would normally be applied for an effective board as what their aspirations would be. And so I wanted to say, just as an introduction, because I think that's something that we can launch from a little bit, that I was pleased and pleased with the extent to which I see this board working in, and these are sort of aspirational things, in a collegiate and orderly way, coming from a range of cultural attitudes, but open-mindedly entering respectful discussion, to quote from our oath of allegiance, and in quotes, promote the interests of education, which is how our oath of office defines our duty. That kind of approach, I think, for this coming 23 year, if we can remember that and show it and deliver it, we will give Bill and the incoming superintendent a little more momentum and stability, and it would be nice. And thank you, my 4 colleagues, because I thought that was I felt good about the self-assessment.
Thank you, Martin. Julie?
Don't really have much, but just want to give my appreciation first for everyone that's put in some work to celebrate us. I'm truly humbled by it. I don't feel like I deserve it at all, but I really, it means a lot, and it's very heartfelt. And I thank you all, especially the mariachi performance. That was incredible, outstanding. I'm blown away by high school musicians, and it takes me right back. And I just absolutely loved it. Also, thank you to our budget committee and our staff for working so collaboratively on these budget updates. It's not a small feat, and I appreciate staying informed and having these frequent updates and all the work that's going into it. And I think that's a really big move in terms of transparency that we've been trying to achieve at the district for several years. So I really appreciate that work. I feel like I've been living at the high school right now, visiting, attending events and whatnot. So it's been fun to engage in all the activities going on throughout the districts. I'm enjoying those, and good work to all the participants, coaches, and the fans coming out to support. Our programs are represented, cheer, band, good variety at all the games. So it's been fun to feel the energy back in the buildings again, kind of all hours. So it's been a good January.
Catherine?
Well, I guess after the last board meeting, I raced over to the Toyota Town Center, I think with Superintendent Eagle to go see the litter box competition. And there's a lovely little girl who made the front page of the Wenatchee World hanging upside down playing the drums. So it was wonderful that I got to go see that. That's my child. I will, the PAC meeting is great and I like to go to them because it's another opportunity to hear the mariachis and they're just so incredible. For me, I have a few things coming up. This next 2 weeks, I'll be spending the day with one of our school resource officers. So that'll be exciting and to see what they're doing on a regular basis and kind of report on that. I know next week is the superintendent advisory or the student advisory committee meeting. So that's next Wednesday. I'll be going to that. And then finally on the February the 26th and 27th is the legislative conference in Olympia. And I've already made contact with a member of the Eastmont School Board who's there, who will be attending, and Cascades School Board who'll be attending. So we're going to have kind of a meeting about the issues and the bills that our side of the mountains are concerned about, and then have time with them at the conference. So that I'm looking forward to and learning about what's going on and keeping up then with Brad Hawkins and which bills are making it and which are not. And I will update everybody on that as we go along. So that's it for me.
Was that January 27th or February?
The conference is February 26th and 27th.
Okay.
Yeah, then we're going to have kind of a Zoom meeting prior to with a collective group of board members throughout this region. Prior to that'll be, I believe it was February 7th. So
Looking forward to report back on that. For my communication piece, I just kind of want to give a little bit of an update on the superintendent search. McPherson and Jacobson received 24 applications for the superintendent position. That closed on the 12th, so about a week and a half ago. So the next step is for Dr. Lauder and Dr. Valderas. They're reviewing the applications and using the information from the forums, the surveys, the meetings, and the discussion with the board to select the most qualified applicants that will be presented to the board. The next step for us is we will receive access to a secured file early next week. And that's where the McPherson and Jacobson will upload the applications and the short 3-minute videos of who they feel are the best applicants for our school district. And then we will review and convene on January 31st at the special board meeting to select the candidates for the semifinal interviews. Any questions on that?
So if the meeting, how many days are we going to have to review all that information? If we're getting it early next week, that's Monday the 30th, and the meeting is the following day?
That is correct. Yes, I didn't realize the time frame. I spoke with Dr. Lauder today. I can reach out and shoot Friday.
Friday would be nice. Then we'd have the weekend at least. Yeah.
Maria, I did speak to him also today and suggested Friday would be a
Okay.
little better to give the board more
Thank
time
you.
to read
Okay.
those. So I'm hoping.
Okay, perfect. And I'll follow up on that. Yeah, because it would be nice to, gosh, it's already end of January. It would be nice to have them to review over the weekend. So thank you for that. Okay. Any other questions or ideas? Okay, great. And as like I mentioned, our next meeting is January 31st for that special meeting. And if there's no further communication, then this meeting is adjourned. 6:45.